Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the prison called life, man. Quick question. Do you guys prefer if I shoot my videos like this in a vertical manner like this, or do you prefer the horizontal type of way that I shoot these videos? Because sometimes I think maybe it's not for the best, especially if you're watching on a TV, then this might not appear the best way to shoot a video. But if you do it horizontally, then on your TV or your laptop, then it's more convenient. Tell me what you guys think, and if you guys like it, or if you hate it, or if you think maybe it's more personal to you, more of like a FaceTime to you. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. You guys know what the topic is about. So when I started making this channel, I knew I wanted to talk about the way I viewed life, but to me, life didn't occur as a prison. I just knew that for me, life was oppressive. It was burdensome, all the typical nonsensical stuff one has to put up with just so you can be an ordinary human being or a proper human being in the eyes of others. For me, it wasn't exactly a prison. So I don't know where the title the prison called life came from. It just appeared out of nowhere, and honestly I couldn't think of a better name other than that when I started making this channel. The prison called life. Now day by day, life reveals itself to be the prison sentence it is. Even though we're not literally in a prison like other criminals, but you sort of like in this place where you are forced to do things that you do not want to do. Well, at least for some of us, right? Because some people enjoy the hell out of this. Some people enjoy everything about life. Not exactly everything, but you get my point. They do not have a problem with things that might appear to be simple. For example, I have a problem with brushing my teeth. Not that I'm a dirty person, not that I'm a dirty person, but the fact that you have to wake up and brush your teeth every day. Some people do it twice a day. I'm like, fuck it, I'm not doing this day and night, brushing my teeth, plus all the stuff about fluoride not being good for your health and whatever. Not that it's a concern, but I just didn't like it. I feel like it's overdoing it. But simple things like that, for me, they burdensome. Waking up, brushing your teeth every day. When I wake up, I just go to my bathroom, put some Colgate on my toothpaste, brush my teeth while walking around, because if I just stand there like an idiot and brush my teeth, brushing my teeth, I just feel like an idiot. It's so burdensome. I need to distract myself from the fact that I'm brushing my teeth so I can get through with it. And if you don't get through with it, now your mouth stings, the whole day. Even though you can eat food and whatever, but you still have that morning breath. But jokes aside, man, jokes aside, I've always seen this system for what it is. I've always seen it for what it is, but it never really occurred to me like it did in 2021, 2022 that, listen, man, this life is just stupid, okay? It's just stupid. Only thing we come here to do is to just I feel like I've said it so many times that it's now it's now boring for me to say, but like, what's the purpose of all of this nonsense, man? All of these day-to-day responsibilities that you have to do, and if you do not do them, there's a price to pay for that. That's the thing. People do not understand that you are forced. You may have what we call free will, because some people believe in free will, which I call it BS. I don't believe in free will. I don't believe in free will, because I think everything is a reaction of something. Nothing just appears from out of nowhere. There's a cause behind it. So if there's a cause, I do not think there's a free will, because the cause makes the reaction. The reaction is the result of the cause. So how can it be free will? Because the reaction wouldn't come if there was no cause. I don't know if people get me. But I don't believe in free will. Some people believe in free will. It's not a choice. For example, like the example I just did, it's not a choice that you have to brush your teeth every day. It's something you have to do. Otherwise, your breath stinks. It's not a choice that you have to eat. It's something you have to do. Otherwise, you're gonna die. It's not a choice that you have to drink water. It's something your body needs. These are things that the body needs. It's not a choice that you must have something fun to do so you can distract yourself from the fact that life is nonsense. It's something you have to do so that you do not go mentally insane. So life is just one big prison sentence, man. Not to say I'm undermining what a literal prison sentence feels like to the guys who are in prison, but it's similar, okay? Except that we can walk around and travel the world. We're not just literally bound to one place, but it's a prison. It's a prison. It ends there. All of these obligations that a person has to do, all of these obligations, all of the societal pressures that you have to do so you can conform. So people can, there's our guy. You have to show up to work ready to do your best, because you want the bonus, a performance bonus. You have to work. There is no choice. Even if you're not working in a typical workplace, but there's something you have to do for money. That's how this place goes. Otherwise, you're gonna be poor. And life is not kind to people who are poor. You have no choice but to at least live a somewhat decent life. A roof over your head, a car you can use to travel. If you live in South Africa, you obviously need a car because the transport system is not that reliable, unless you're used to it. But it's not that reliable. But they've been making some improvements. We have buses, we have all, even though the trains are a freaking mess, but they really try. They really try. But a car is kind of like a necessity in some countries, but in places like America, Canada, whatever, you don't necessarily need a car, which is a bonus, but it's already a type of culture that people need cars, they're convenient anyway. So we have no choice. We have to do these things. Even before cars, people had horse carts, people had that, carriages. There was always some form of transport, boats, so you can go across nations. Some kind of transport is necessary, so it's you have no choice. Once you come here, there are obligations that you have to do, responsibilities that you have to do. Even if you do not have kids, as I've mentioned before, you still have to take care of yourself, your body. It needs to be bathed, it needs to be fed, it needs to be clothed. Otherwise, you're gonna be cold. Can't just walk around. Can't just walk around with your private part showing. You have to cover that up. It's not a choice, So it is just one big prison sentence. And when people hear you talking about these things, their first instinct is to jump to you being depressed or you being mentally ill or whatever, stuff like that. Oh, you must be depressed. Oh, you must be. No, not really. It doesn't take a depressed person, because at first it is kind of depressing, but it shouldn't take a depressed person to see that life is not all what it's made to be. It shouldn't get to that stage where you're depressed because, but that's what needs to be done so you can actually realize the horrors of life, because you cannot realize the horrors of life while you're happy. The initial stage is depression. The initial stage is grief. You first have to see that, oh my God, we've been lied to all along. This is not how the world works. The initial stage is grief. That's how it works. You know. Then it transitions to you being angry and trying to change something. And then you realize that I cannot change anything about this system. Then it transitions to you now slowly accepting that it is what it is, and you have to do your best to survive and to make sure that you're okay. You don't mind, you don't care, you know. And if you care, it's like this force that's just gonna punish you for caring, you know, because the world is not kind to caring people. It is not. So this is a system that is bigger than it seems to be. You know, it seems like there are divine forces behind this. Not trying to sound all spiritual, but you know, consciously, if we get to now, we're crossing these material bounds, and we're not just thinking logically, but now we're using something else to think. You know, now we're using for the sake of a practical use of word, now we're using our hearts to think, you know, our spirits to think, and we think to ourselves, this must be something big, you know, because I mean, even if you're trying to do some good, it's like, no, the world forces you to be a bad person. Even if you're not trying to be a bad person, but it forces you to be that way. So you can see that there's some evil divine forces behind this nonsense. Negativity is what thrives here. As for positivity, not so much. Think about it, man. All the bad stuff is what's trending. All the demoralizing stuff is what's trending. What about the good stuff? Not that much. You see? So food for thought right there. You know, life is just a prison sentence. Once you come here, you have no choice. You just have to conform. You have to do what you have to do so you can survive and finally die. That's how you get set free. Death sets you free. I know some people are gonna argue in the comments, no, 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 no. You're going to reincarnate. You're going to blah, blah, blah. Which is something that, you know, we do not really have proof of unless you die and you see it for yourself. So I don't really like to go to those types of conversations because those are things I cannot confirm. I cannot confirm to you that this is what's happening on the other side, you know, unless I have a near-death experience and then come back and say, whoa, this is what happened when I died. If that happens, of course, I'll come back and say, this is what happened. But other than that, man, like, we just have to deal with what we see here, you know. Anyway, man, this is DeadMf and I'm signing out.